crouching until hidden among legs, waves, and moving bodies. When a wildebeest loses its balance in deep water, the crocodile emerges violently and closes its jaws around the prey. The hunt ends in seconds because within the river, the strength and weight of the crocodile turn the current into a deadly weapon. In the Mara, the Nile crocodile does not need to chase for long distances. It is enough for it to wait underwater until the migration comes to it. On the infinite plains of the Serengeti and the Maasai Mara, Africa's most powerful biological engine emerges, the blue wildebeest. Conocaetes taurinus is the protagonist of the great journey, an odyssey of survival that mobilizes more than 1 million individuals each year. This sovereign of distances travels more than 1,000 kilometers, following the mystical trail of the rains and the scent of fresh pastures. With a weight reaching 250 kilograms, its physical structure is a mass of muscle and stamina designed for uninterrupted marching under the sun. The strength of the herd lies in its massive numbers, creating a thunder of thousands of hooves that resonates like a biological earthquake in the savannah. The most critical moment of its existence occurs before the waters of the Mara River, a liquid border defended by scaled killers. Beneath the surface lurks the Nile crocodile, a 600-kilogram predator that waits with icy patience for the start of the massive crossing. Biological tension explodes when the first leader leaps into the abyss, dragging thousands of individuals into a cascade of flesh and panic. In the middle of the channel, the wildebeest fights against currents that displace thousands of liters of water per second, exhausting its mechanical energy reserves. The crocodile's attack is a lightning bolt of brute force, injecting a pressure of 22,000 newtons that fractures bones instantly. The water turns red under the 35 degrees Celsius sun as the herd sacrifices the weakest so the lineage can persist. Survivors who reach the other shore must immediately face the lions and leopards waiting in the tall grass. The wildebeest is the fundamental prey of the African food web, the massive source of protein that sustains all the sovereigns of the top. Their massive passing fertilizes the earth with tons of organic matter, guaranteeing the biological regeneration of Kenya's soils. They possess an infallible navigation instinct, capable of detecting storms at a distance of 50 kilometers through their finely tuned senses. Unlike other herbivores, their survival strategy is spatial flooding, where numbers exceed the capacity of predators. Each year, thousands of individuals perish in the river, providing a feast of nutrients for fish and scavengers in the aquatic ecosystem. This massive loss is not a failure, but a necessary biological sacrifice to maintain the dynamic balance of wild nature. The cycle of life in the savannah depends on the stamina of these nomads, the warriors who run eternally against oblivion. The wildebeest remains the beating heart of the migration, the indomitable spirit that flows like a tide of life in Africa. Without their presence, the Serengeti would become a sterile desert, silencing the roar of the lions and the majesty of the landscape. The persistence of this herd is the ultimate testimony to the will to live in one of the most demanding environments in the wild world. The destiny of the species is etched in its millennial roots, paths of blood and glory that cross the heart of the Black Continent. At the end of the day, under the shade of acacias, survivors rest, regaining strength for the next kilometer of their infinite journey. The wildebeest is the essence of absolute survival, the sovereign that reigns through constancy and the strength of numbers. In the golden plains of Kenya, a warrior of unmistakable design emerges, dominating the horizon with supreme visual authority, the equus quagga. Its coat of black and white stripes is a masterpiece of disruptive camouflage, designed to confuse the binocular vision of alpha predators. This social inhabitant lives in a state of perpetual vigilance, with mobile ears that act as high-precision biological radars in the savannah. The African lion watches from the gloom of the tall grass, but the zebra detects the electrical tension of danger before the attack begins. By grouping closely, the stripes of hundreds of individuals blend together, creating a massive optical illusion that nullifies the hunter's aim. Its ultimate weapon lies in its hind legs, capable of delivering a defensive kick with a mechanical force of 15,000 newtons. This massive impact is enough to fracture a lion's jaw or break a leopard's ribs almost instantaneously. In open ground, the zebra reaches a speed of 65 kilometers per hour, maintaining superior physical stamina in the long race for life. It possesses excellent social intelligence, recognizing every member of its family through microscopic variations in the patterns of their black stripes. As a keystone species, its selective grazing allows tender grass shoots to grow to feed other herbivores in the Kenyan ecosystem. Its robust physiology allows it to survive extreme climates where the soil temperature exceeds 45 degrees Celsius during the African midday. The zebra remains the guardian of the striped paths, the warrior of vigilance who reigns with elegance and power under the eternal sun. The cycle of life in the Masai Mara continues to vibrate thanks to the unbreakable resistance of this sovereign of untamed natural design. On the open horizons where courage defines destiny, the most formidable warrior of the savannah emerges, the Cape buffalo. Synchorus Kaffir is the sovereign of brute force and the only member of the Big Five that has never been domesticated by man. With a massive weight reaching 900 kilograms, its physical structure is a fortress of solid muscle protected by thick skin. Its most majestic feature is the frontal bone shield that joins the base of its horns, a natural armor designed to resist high-energy impacts. Unlike other herbivores, this giant does not rely on flight, but on the formation of a living wall, impregnable to predators. The African lion shows extreme caution in the presence of an alpha male, conscious that a tactical error will result in immediate tragedy. Despite its heavy appearance, the buffalo can charge with a lightning speed of 55 kilometers per hour, transforming into a projectile of flesh and bone. A single impact from its bone shield generates a mechanical force of thousands of newtons, capable of fracturing the ribs of an adult feline instantly. They possess unbreakable social loyalty, coming to the rescue of any injured member through a coordinated counteroffensive that drives away entire prides of lions. Their tactical intelligence includes a prodigious memory, recognizing past attackers to execute acts of collective defense with an iron will. It is nicknamed the Black Death due to its volatile temperament and its absolute refusal to surrender even when outnumbered. Its dark eyes and tuned sense of smell detect the chemical signature of danger from a great distance, keeping the herd in a state of perpetual biological vigilance. As a keystone species, it shapes the landscape through its massive consumption of mature grass, allowing young vegetation to sprout for the sustenance of others. Its heavy hooves aerate the savanna soil, facilitating rainwater filtration and the vitality of Kenya's biogeochemical cycles. The African buffalo remains the indomitable guardian of the plains, the sovereign that reigns through the strength of unity and absolute courage. In the sea of golden grass of the Maasai Mara, an athlete of unmatched agility emerges, navigating between life and death, the Eudochus thomsoni. With a weight that barely reaches 30 kilograms, this small inhabitant is the energy engine that sustains Kenya's most extreme sprinters. Its light physiology is designed for instantaneous acceleration, allowing it to reach a speed of 80 kilometers per hour in open field. Vigilance is its ultimate shield, possessing lateral eyes that scan the horizon for the deadly stealth of the cheetah or leopard. In the middle of the plain, under the scorching 35 degrees Celsius sun, a female pulls away from the herd to fulfill her biological mission of giving birth. Birth is a moment of extreme vulnerability, where the chemical scent of the newborn attracts predators hidden in the gloom. In a matter of few minutes, the small calf must stand up, using its trembling legs to integrate into the safety of the crowd. Upon detecting a threat, the herd uses the technique of stotting, jumping 2 meters vertically to demonstrate its physical stamina to the hunter. This visual signal warns the enemy that the chase will be a useless waste of energy against an animal with high-precision reflexes. During the escape, the gazelle makes sharp 90-degree turns using its reinforced joints to break the predator's impact trajectory. As a keystone species, its presence guarantees the flow of nutrients and the health of the grassland, maintaining the biological balance of the savanna. The Thompson's gazelle remains the swift spirit of the plains, the sovereign of agility that reigns under Kenya's infinite sky. On the golden horizon of Kenya, a figure of monumental proportions emerges, whose steps vibrate the very structure of the earth, the African elephant. Loxodonta africana is the undisputed sovereign of terrestrial ecosystems, holding the title of the largest and heaviest mammal to walk on planet Earth. With a weight that can reach 6,000 kilograms and a height of 4 meters, its physical presence is a declaration of absolute power and ancestral wisdom. This giant is the supreme architect of the savanna, a biological engineer that transforms the landscape with mechanical force unattainable for any other being. It uses its colossal mass to knock down trees and dense bushes, opening paths that function as biological highways for hundreds of smaller species. By fragmenting woody vegetation, the elephant allows sunlight to reach the ground, promoting the growth of fresh grasses for the great nomad herds. Its trunk is a marvel of evolution, possessing more than 150,000 muscle units that grant it surgical precision and a strength of 3,000 newtons. During extreme drought, the elephant acts as the guardian of water, using its ivory tusks and massive feet to dig wells in dry riverbeds. These artificial fountains of life provide the vital resource for lions, zebras, and birds, saving entire communities from extinction by dehydration. The social structure of the group is led by an experienced matriarch, whose biological memory stores maps of routes and wells across hundreds of kilometers. Within the herd, the care of elephant calves is a sacred collective mission, where every adult forms a shield of flesh and bone against any threat. Faced with the stealth of a lion pride, the giants huddle in a compact defensive formation, emitting low-frequency bellows that resonate like thunder. A single movement of their massive ears is a warning of power, capable of dissuading the boldest predators through a display of visual intimidation. Their tusks can reach a length of 2 meters, multifunctional tools used to defend their honor and manipulate the environment with unique mastery. It possesses prodigious intelligence, with a 5-kilogram brain that processes complex emotions and social bonds that last for decades of existence. An elephant consumes up to 300 kilograms of plant matter daily, processing the energy needed to sustain its massive heartbeat. As a keystone species, its biological health is the barometer of the Masai Mara's integrity, ensuring that the cycle of life continues under the African sun. Communication between herds is conducted through infrasound that travels through the ground, a network of invisible messages connecting giants in the immensity. The African elephant remains the eternal guardian of the land, the sovereign of will who protects the dynamic balance of wild nature. Its majesty is the heartbeat of the continent, a reminder that true power resides in the capacity to create life and protect the future under the stars. On the infinite horizons of the Masai Mara, a living tower emerges, watching over the kingdom from a perspective unattainable to any other being. The Maasai giraffe, scientifically known as Giraffa tippleskirchi, is the tallest mammal on planet Earth, dominating Kenya's verticality with supreme authority. With a height that can reach 6 meters, this colossus of the clouds observes the world with a gaze of steel and majestic calm. Its 1,200-kilogram physical structure requires a massive 11-kilogram heart to pump hemoglobin-rich blood up to its high-altitude brain. It acts as the supreme sentinel of the savannah, possessing long-range binocular vision capable of detecting a lion's stealth from 1 kilometer away. Its privileged height allows it to emit silent visual signals, alerting zebras and antelopes to the proximity of predators hidden in the golden grass. Though it appears to be a peaceful inhabitant, it possesses the deadliest defensive weapon of the plains, a lightning kick with immense and unstoppable mechanical force. The impact of its hoof generates a pressure of 14,000 newtons, capable of decapitating a lion or fracturing a leopard's skull instantly. It uses its 50-centimeter prehensile tongue to navigate the thorns of acacias, extracting vital nutrients under the scorching 38°C sun. The giraffe's sleep is an act of extreme courage, sleeping barely 30 minutes a day in short periods so as not to lose its biological vigilance. Males establish their hierarchy through necking, hitting their necks with a force of hundreds of newtons to demonstrate their genetic vigor to the herd. The moment of drinking water is its greatest test of stamina, forcing it to spread its front legs and remain vulnerable to the shadow of the hyena. As a keystone species, it acts as a high-altitude gardener, regulating the growth of the forest canopy and maintaining the dynamic balance of Kenya's ecosystems. Habitat loss threatens to fragment its biological territory, transforming the sovereign of the clouds into a survivor fighting against time and extinction. The Maasai giraffe remains the guardian of the African skies, the eternal spirit that reigns with a gaze of steel and an indomitable will. In the heart of the Rift Valley, where water mirrors reflect the African sky, one of nature's most majestic visions emerges: the lesser flamingo. Phoeniconias minor is the sovereign of color, transforming the shores of Lakes Bogoria and Nakuru into a vibrant tide of intense pink. Millions of individuals congregate in these biological sanctuaries, creating a cloud of feathers that looks like a glass painting under the Kenyan sun. With a height of 1 meter and a weight of barely 2 kilograms, its physical structure is a perfect combination of lightness and aerodynamic elegance. Its long, thin legs function as biological pillars, allowing it to navigate alkaline waters with absolute and sovereign grace. It possesses a specialized beak that acts as a high-precision hydrodynamic filter to extract microorganisms from mineral-saturated water. Its unique coloration comes from carotenoids present in spirulina, a microscopic algae that constitutes the energy engine of its existence. It inhabits caustic lakes where water pH reaches extreme levels, defying environmental chemistry under a 35°C sun. The skin on its legs is extremely resistant, acting as biological armor against salt corrosion and the thermal heat of the mud. The sight of thousands of flamingos performing a synchronized biological choreography is a testimony to the social harmony that reigns in the ecosystem. Taking flight, the flock reaches a speed of 50 kilometers per hour, stretching their necks and legs to dominate the blue horizon. As a keystone species, the flamingo regulates the algae population, maintaining chemical balance and the biological health of Kenya's alkaline lakes. Its presence is the barometer of the Rift Valley's vitality, indicating the purity of water resources in a land of extreme contrasts. Habitat loss and alteration of water levels threaten to fragment this pink kingdom, pushing the jewel of Kenya toward vulnerability. The flamingo remains the guardian of the crystal mirrors, the vibrant spirit that reigns where life dances on salt water. In the slow currents of Kenya's rivers, the most irritable and feared sovereign of fresh waters emerges, the common hippopotamus. Hippopotamus amphibius is a titan of epic dimensions, capable of reaching a massive weight of 3,000 kilograms. Though it appears to be a peaceful herbivore, it is Africa's most aggressive force of nature, protecting its aquatic territory with absolute ferocity. Its mouth is a weapon of mass destruction, capable of opening at a 150-degree angle to display 50-centimeter-long canines. The hippo's jaw generates a mechanical force of 12,000 newtons, enough power to snap a Nile crocodile in half. Crocodiles, despite being alpha predators, maintain a safety distance of several meters, respecting the monarch of the currents. Any intruder invading its biological bubble underwater faces a lightning charge packed with tons of muscle and bone. Its 6-centimeter thick skin acts as armor against bites, secreting a reddish fluid that functions as a natural antibiotic. Despite its physical mass, it can run at a speed of 30 kilometers per hour, outrunning most humans on firm ground. At night, it emerges from the river to consume up to 40 kilograms of grass, processing the energy needed to maintain its fluvial sovereignty. As a keystone species, its movements and waste fertilize the riverbeds, maintaining the biological pulse of Kenya's aquatic ecosystems. The hippo remains the guardian of the mud abysses, the indomitable giant that reigns with steel jaws and an iron will. Above Kenya's infinite skies, the aerial patrol of biological recycling emerges, the sovereigns of decomposition. The white-backed vulture, known scientifically as Gyps africanus, is the most efficient scavenger of the African savanna. Alongside it, the butler eagle, or Terathopius ecaudatus, patrols thermal currents with a gaze of steel and supreme aerial agility. These birds possess visual acuity 8 times superior to humans, allowing them to locate a biological trail from 5 kilometers away. At the end of a hunt, the winged shadows descend in elegant spirals, marking the place where life transforms into energy for the flock. At the Colosseum of the Carcass, a fierce competition for nutrients breaks out, where the robust beak exerts a mechanical force of 500 newtons. The vulture is capable of consuming 1 kilogram of meat in barely a minute, processing the protein needed for its flight stamina. Its immune system is a miracle of evolution, capable of annihilating lethal bacteria like anthrax in its high-acidity stomach. They possess a gastric pH close to 1, a massive chemical power that dissolves bones and tissues that other predators reject. This biological mission is vital for Kenya's health, as they act as the supreme cleaners that prevent the spread of epidemics. Tosha Kaptotesa. The bateleur eagle uses its tactical skill to snatch meat fragments from the jaws of hyenas, demonstrating instinctive courage. In less than 30 minutes, a team of 50 vultures can reduce a 100-kilogram carcass to an inert skeleton under the tropical sun. As keystone species, They guarantee that the cycle of organic matter is completed, allowing the savanna soil to remain fertile. These raptors remain the guardians of biological balance, the watchers who reign in the blue void with infinite patience. The flight of the scavengers is the ultimate testimony that in nature nothing is wasted, and every death feeds a new beginning. The rhythm of Kenya is dictated by the eternal cycle of water, a geological heartbeat that transforms the savanna into a stage for life and death. When extreme drought reduces river flows, the 38°C sun forces large herds to congregate at the last waterholes. This massive concentration turns every riverbank into a biological coliseum, where the distance between hunter and prey is reduced to a few meters. Alpha predators like the lion and leopard take advantage of this vulnerability, executing hunting missions with a frequency and success that defines the height of the season. The Great Migration arrives like a tide of stamina, with more than 1 million wildebeests and zebras crossing the border from the Serengeti into the Masai Mara. This massive movement generates the largest feast on planet Earth, activating the mechanical force of Nile crocodiles at dangerous crossings. With the arrival of torrential rains, the sterile land is reborn, transforming into an ocean of green grass rich in nitrogen and phosphorus. Rain acts as the architect of abundance, dispersing animals across thousands of square kilometers of fertile plains for regeneration. Kenya's dynamic balance resides in this seasonal pulse, where scarcity and abundance rule the fate of the savanna's sovereigns. Every kilometer traveled under the scorching sun is a test of physical stamina, where biological error is paid with extinction under the predator's gaze. The Masai Mara remains the most demanding theatre of evolution in the world, a living laboratory where biodiversity shines.